um, to date, we have close to 700 persons. And of the 700 persons, just about 90% is at the University of Guyana.
Does that number increase annually?
Well, to date, since this permanent secretary is sitting there, it has increased.
Okay.
Right? And it's increased based on the financial resources we are getting from the Ministry of Finance at our budget. Um, so we have those numbers at the University of Guyana, both commencing and continuing. And we have also the Guyana School of Agriculture. We also give scholarship to the, basically like grants to the Boer School of Art, Carnegie School of Economics, the nursing councils, the various nursing councils, there are scholarships that are being granted um, to persons. At the international level, we still have bilaterals with Cuba and China and India and those places that scholarships are granted following the same procedures that outlined. And we have to maintain all of those students with scholarships. So persons should not feel aggrieved because the process is open and it is transparent. And as I'm on scholarship, I wish to take you also further to what the Department of Scholarship now will be doing with the blessings, of course, of Cabinet and His Excellency. We have conducted a training need analysis to the various ministries because, as I said, Guyana is on the threshold of exciting times. We must know our skill banks and what is our best practices, what is best suited for our development. We have looked carefully, we helped some ministries in trying to get the type of information we needed. We're looking at international best practices. We have looked at those countries in North America to see some of the best universities, and we have them ranked. So based on our training needs analysis and some of the top universities in North America, we deal with the Asian countries as well. We'd like to expose our bright citizens to these scholarships. So we are on track in trying to get that going. As I said, we follow international best practices. And when we unleash that, it is based on what our budgetary allocation can afford. We are looking at environment and oil and gas and the STEM subjects. We're looking in the medical areas and specialities, right? We need a nation that got bright persons, bright people that can help it develop. So that is one that will be unleashed 2018 and beyond.
And 2018 is very soon.
Very soon.
Whereas I have to tell you again, there are a lot of departments, organizations, and so on that function within the Ministry of the Presidency, public service being one, and there are lots of things happening within public service. And of course, as you know, this program is only 30 minutes, so we cannot get to everything. But as the program continues, we'll invite either P.S. Brotherson himself back or some other person who he'll appoint to come on and speak about what is happening there at the Public Service Department. But P.S. Brotherson, even before we wrap up today's conversation, I can't possibly have you on and not talk about negotiations with the Guyana Public Service Union, of course, based on how much you can put in the public domain. In the past few months or so, the government and by extension, obviously, the Public Service Department would have come in for some criticisms regarding those negotiations with the Guyana Public Service Union. Are you in a position to say what is the state of those negotiations?
Thanks, like time flies so quickly.
Yes, it did.
We have engaged a public service, the Guyana Public Service Union, as I said, as part of a collective bargaining process. And I must say, these are this was one of the recommendations coming out of the CUI report, that we must return to collective bargaining. And so far, the government has honored its commitment in terms of collective bargaining. Obviously, the union would bargain very hard for its workers. On the government side, of course, the government has got to give increases that it can sustain and based on its revenues and its projection for development. We have engaged a union last year. Some increases were awarded. The union were aggrieved in some instances. I don't think they pursued that aspect of it, but they are more concerned beyond the sliding scale of the salaries that were given in the various brackets, the issue of allowances, that is a very burning issue that has not been touched over 2 decades and counting. So we agreed to set up a tripartite committee to address the issue of allowances, and we've got to put the allowances into categories. So we are fine tuning the terms of reference
Okay.
for those allowances, and we'll meet with the union again. So collective bargaining is a process. It's a process, and the union, of course, fully aware of all of the recourse it has in the collective bargaining process if they feel aggrieved at any one time. But at this stage, the government has given what it can afford. It has given last year, and to date, we have had increases, if you put it in the general context, over 43%, 50% within the last 2 years. When we put all of the figures into the bag, the percentage increases within the last 2 years had been very good,
Okay.
very good.
I know, again, this always comes back to the Minister of Finance himself, but the next big thing we're expecting is the budget, but the reading of the national budget, which would be for 2018. Again, I don't know how much you can say at this point, but what is the Public Service Department expecting?
Well, the public service department, like all other ministries, we say budget, you have this big wish list. You want to do so many things. The reality is, the state has a dollar. How can the state spend this dollar? You have health services, you have education, you have infrastructure, you have staff development, social assistance, all of these manner. So the dollar's got to be spent in areas that could make everybody comfortable and live a good life, as is being touted in the budget, a better life for all.
Yeah.
We have put forward our proposal. Of course, we have placed great emphasis on training, a lot of emphasis on the Bertram Collins College, and our own staff development needs. And we are waiting with a bated breath to see the type of numbers. The reality is, if your budget is cut, then you have to cut your cloth to suit. And you will have to return to the table and reprioritize your program. And that has been a national, annual cycle with budgets, right? We put as many things as possible that we need that's going to make your work done efficiently. And in fact, you may not receive all of the monies that you want, but you must pick the programs that you know you can deliver on.
Okay, all right.
And make life better for all. And that I would like to see happen with my colleague, accounting officers, and those officers who are in charge of the national purse and spending it in accordance with the appropriate regulations.
Thank you very much, P.S. Broderson. Unfortunately, viewers, we're going to have to leave it there for now. Thank you to the Permanent Secretary of the Public Service Department, Mr. Reginald Broderson. I am Malika Ramsey, and this has been Conversations in State. Thanks for watching.